Do most lawyers focus on management stuff too early? The question is, are you overly focusing on management stuff before you have maybe 28 employees? All right. Well, what is law firm management anyway? Well, it really falls into three categories: systems and procedures, people management. Really, if you condense law firm management, it's processes, workflows, steps, bulleted lists, workflow improvement, CRMs, right? For the software, project management, case management, document file storage, people management. Are you doing time management, time tracking, recruiting, hiring, onboarding, performance management, and tracking? My question is, however, what are you managing? Okay. Or the second question is, are you managing enough in the first place to determine an obsessive focus on managing the law firm? Okay. Now, here's an unfortunate thing I want to kind of say is that if the law firm stops growing, what's easier to do? In other words, what requires the least amount of courage to do if you're, under 30 employees? Well, what requires the least amount of courage? Writing down a system, buying office management software, or taking risky bets to attract more cases at scale and position yourself in the market? Because keep in mind, Mike Morse had already positioned his law firm in a way where he was attracting abundant boatloads of cases, able to, separate the wheat from the chaff and get higher quality cases. Okay. So the answer is, what's the least amount of courage? Sometimes it's on management. Okay. The next thing is, what requires the least amount of critical thinking? Documenting what you already do, or questioning if you're doing the right things in your overall positioning strategy. To say the hardest thinking work is strategy, right? Strategy is the hardest mental work in a law firm. Marketing is the most courageous work in a law firm because there's so much volatility and risk, right? And in a law firm, these two areas are where strategic thinking and courage gets abandoned the most, is on the strategy and marketing side, right? So I don't have time to show you an example of this, but we have strategic plans that, if you do our free boot camp tonight at 4 p.m., you'll see me kind of open the hood a little. But the point is, if you hit a growth ceiling in your law firm, the easiest thing to do is to blame others, accept your fate, and try and milk out the profits. It's the unfortunate truth. If you're stuck at 5 team members, right, your number one focus is something you got to question, because you could go systemize the world with 5 team members. You could systemize the world only getting 15 or 10 leads a month at your law firm, right? You could go build the best systems ever. But if you don't have a clear, overabundant lead generation and positioning strategy where you're getting 50, 100, 200, 300, 500 leads a month that you can filter through applications and get high quality cases and increase your case value, right? You're thinking that, well, since I haven't grown, let me just focus on management and milking out some profits. Okay. But that's a weak infrastructure. The truth is, more leads, which most lawyers say they don't want more leads, they want more quality leads. Well, I hate to break it to you. In order to get more quality leads, you need more leads so that you can filter out leads. And the truth is, more leads equals more profit potential until you reach a certain size, that is, and you start hemorrhaging leads. But if you're only doing 50 consults a month and your average case value is 5,000, okay, let's say your profit margin 1x there, it's pretty damn hard to give up sales and work on the business if you're dealing with under 50 consults a month, because you can't even afford operational help at that level. But when you get to 200 consultations per month, you can put people through even with taking no additional cases on, just increasing your average case value, saying no to the wrong cases, you can double your profit margin. You can let some of those consultations kind of float away and, not become clients because you have so many consults coming in that it's easier to give up sales and work on the business, and you actually can afford operational help. Okay. The question also is, do most companies that change the world do it through efficiency first? Okay. And now the key here is companies that change the world, because there's obviously, companies like Starbucks that built a franchise prototype and then scaled it across the United States. But how much of a world-changing effect does coffee have on the world? Okay. Other than increasing anxiety. So think about it. Did Google and Facebook blow up first? Then were they forced to get efficient, right? They had a great product market fit. Google blew up. Facebook blew up while Zuckerberg's in a freaking dorm room, right? So they had to hire integrators and managers and management systems to organize the madness. Same thing. Look at Apple and Uber, right? You just saw me explain this with Microsoft. Even Microsoft, such a well-run company, they sold more than they could serve. And that caused him the pain to hire someone like Steve Ballmer to take over operations at Microsoft because he had enough leads. He had a clear market position that got him to a point where he could easily spend money on operational help. Okay. So look at any of the great companies. The truth is, in a law firm, until most law firms reach $4 million, this is a very controversial point I'm making. Your job is to create operational problems as the leader of a law firm. Okay. Your job is to create such a good movement in your market to where you're getting such high quality cases and such quantity of cases at scale. You're putting people through application processes, and you must get your operations in order. Okay. Because it's going to take way longer to get your operations in order if there's no problem around operations. So your goal is to do this until you have the money to hire someone to permanently solve those operational problems. Okay. So I'm not saying don't focus on management at all until you've gotten to a certain level, but I am saying most lawyers' number one focus needs to be on creating a positioning strategy. And you get more leads in a law firm by focusing on strategy. Okay. And what is strategy if you don't plan on changing the world as a law firm? It's 90% marketing and positioning. It's how you position yourself in the market. Okay. It's how the market perceives your law firm through your consistent behaviors and your all-in platform. So it's one of my last slides here. How do the successful law firms do it? I've interviewed all of them. I mean, just look at our YouTube channel. Okay. How am I doing this? Well, how are the successful law firms doing this? Well, in the past, most of the law firms that blew up in the past, they either went all in on one platform first. They went all in on TV, all in on billboards, all in on radio. As a result of the attention that came from that, they were able to bring on enough cases, which gave them a big enough profit margin barrier to where, not barrier, but padding, where they could afford operational help, right? And now current, you see some people going all in on YouTube, organic, right? Jim Hacking would be an example of that. That's his core all-in platform that the rest of his marketing depends upon. You look at Top Dog, CEO Lawyer, I know Top Dog brought in like 150 cases signed, PI cases last month from Instagram, right? That's his all-in platform, right? You can go all in on webinars like I do. That's your known for thing. Go all in on Google ads, etc. The question is, what's your all-in platform that you're going to use as your bedrock for the rest of your law firm's marketing so that you can actually afford operational help? Some lawyers focus on client experience marketing, where your in-office standards in the past, your in-office standards would be so amazing you get all these referrals, right? Or you bring clients through an educational journey through all steps of the case. Current, client experience marketing is, what are your Zoom and virtual standards dealing with clients? You could focus just on getting client results, but they've actually shown that's the lowest tie to satisfaction. It's more about your client's perception of the results of their case than it is the actual results of the case. Last but not least, you see a lot of lawyers doing this now, niche dominance and other strategies. Go in all in on a niche brand, like a traffic ticket brand. You go into niche expertise. Let's say you're like a mechanical or electrical patent expert like Jubin, who's in our coaching program, right? You have this niche expertise, and you actually communicate that to the marketplace in a clear and coherent way. Niche pricing strategies. How can you change the pricing strategy of your law firm? And then last but not least, niche brand promises and unique selling propositions that appeal to niche markets. The 4 rules of strategy are really as follows. Number 1, you got to be executing new strategies really fast. So if you're thinking about starting a talk show or going all in on some new platform, do it. Then maybe 20% of what you tried is going to work. Systemize that. Make it consistent, kind of like we did with this webinar series. It worked. We systemize it. Now it's a part of our brand. It's part of something we do consistently. It's something we go all in on, right? Iterate very fast, okay? When you learn something new, go all in on something new, okay? And then last but not least, repeat the 4 rules of rapid strategy. It's not about pontificating and reflecting and meditating. It's about rolling stuff out quick, finding what worked, right? And then systemizing that and then iterating and repeating. One question I have is, would you hire a realtor and then have them tell you where to move? That's like that's like hiring an integrator or like buying a CRM. Okay. And then just having the trinkets on the CRM tell you how to run the firm. No, you would obviously list out what you want first before you hire the realtor. Same thing. Like I said, would you buy a CRM and design your entire law firm systems based on its cool features without thinking through your processes first? No, you'd write them down first. Same thing with a marketing company. Would you hire a marketing company to tell you how to market your law firm? Or would you have already actually have 2 or 3 bedrocks that work, right? By the way, if you guys want to apply for SMB Elite Marketing Coach, it's grow.smbteam.com. We just opened applications to the public where we teach you what's called the law firm strategy and execution framework. You can go to grow.smbteam.com to apply for that.